Happy Tuesday. Today I'm back with Kym Jackson, and we're going to talk about the fine line between proactivity and desperation as an actor. Hello, I'm Adrienne Coleman, and I'm back with Kym Jackson of the Hollywood Survival Guide for Actors, one of several books that she's written. Kym is also an actress and a coach and mentor for actors, and we are thrilled to have you back for a third week. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So today we're talking about the difference between proactivity as an actor and desperation as an actor. And I want to jump right in actually to the topic of casting director workshops.
Okay.
Yes, there has been so much controversy recently, and I kind of jumped right into it with my letter on deadline.
Which I read.
Or worse.
It's a good letter. Read it.
Well, thank you. But yes, there are a lot of people who are anti-casting workshops out there, and they will often accuse actors who do workshops of being desperate. I'm wondering, kind of as an actress who is a working actress, you've done over 45 TV and film roles in the course of your career. What's your take on casting workshops? What's your opinion?
Well, I kind of have two answers to that. Look, I've been... I did over 200 casting workshops when I first started out in Hollywood. I was here for 2 years. I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't get auditions. I didn't know who to talk to or where to go for work. I was like confused and lost and as wide-eyed and bushy-tailed as an actor could be. And I happened to be going to an audition at New York Film Academy for a little short film, and I ran into someone at a casting workshop. Thank goodness I did, because for the next 2 years I did, like I said, around 200 or so, maybe 250 casting workshops. And looking back, I would attribute a third of all of the credits that I have to relationships I made in those years from 2006 to 2008 when I was in casting workshops.
That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, Scott David put me in my first job from a casting workshop in 2008 at Criminal Minds. So, yeah, but for me, and the other answer that I have is, the desperation thing, that is the craziest thing that I have ever heard. I mentor actors, and it's actually one of the things that some of them have said is that there's workshop actors and then there's working actors, and which is so crazy because when you go to casting workshops, there's so many people in them, right, that are like series regulars, recurring guest stars on 3 shows with huge resumes, and they're going there to expand their network. And in business people expand their network. It's the entire premise behind LinkedIn. People intentionally reach out to people from whom they can procure employment or develop a relationship that may lead to employment intentionally and show them what they have to offer. So yes, if you're going into a workshop and you're nervous and you're kissing up to everyone and you're trying to impress or whatever, then it may come across as desperate because you are being desperate in that moment. If you're coming in as your authentic self, saying, okay, look, I'm a professional. I'm like a marketing executive pitching this amazing advertising campaign, which, by the way, they do every single time an advertising executive wants to pitch to a brand. They go in and pitch to them. They say, this is how I see your brand being promoted. Actor is going in saying, this is how I see this role being played. Whether you agree with that or not is something that's up to you. There's nothing I can do about it, but this is my take on it, and I want to share that with you. So you're going into a casting workshop and saying, this is my take on this role. This is how I would do that. So if that's something that appeals to you, then I'd love to work with you. It's also gaining so much knowledge. I couldn't have written the Hollywood Survival Guide if I hadn't gone to a ton of casting workshops, asked a ton of questions about how the industry worked. Because at that time, when I was a 22, 23-year-old actor coming to LA, I didn't understand how a film production company worked. I didn't understand a casting office or how films were put together. So to be able to ask those questions and see what they needed from me in auditions was endlessly beneficial. I really did think of it for years as an acting class that I went to because of the great redirection. They're giving you amazing redirection because a lot of the time they know the scene so well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So for me, I think the the important thing to think is who are you reaching out to? You're reaching out to meet a casting director. That casting director reaches out all the time to filmmakers when they want to potentially work with them. The casting director also reaches out all the time to A-list actors when they want to attach them to their projects. Yep. The agents and managers are always reaching out to to casting directors over and over again so that they can try to get their clients in the door. If you had an agent or manager that only sent one email or one phone call to try to get you in a room.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah. You'd be a little bit like...
And somehow we as actors feel like we are exempt from this reaching out. We're just another part of this magic that is, creating these projects.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think it's just important to know that professionals in any industry reach out to show off what they can do to people that they want to work with. And there's no reason that actors shouldn't do the same when they want to reach out to someone.
That's awesome. Yeah. I almost want to end there, but I just want to ask this other little question because this is amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. I think that a lot of this stems from placing other people in the industry on a pedestal and kind of feeling like we need from them, like how do we combat that mindset of these people are above us and we're constantly asking for something?
Okay, well, that's actually a really good question. I think, so think about when you're in an acting class and there's an actor in the class who doesn't have any credits, but they're like the best actor you've ever seen in your life. And sometimes some little insecurity in you might put them on a pedestal because you think oh my God, they're so talented. So then what's to stop a casting director looking at you and saying, oh my God, they're so talented. They're amazing at what they do. The casting director is amazing at what they do. Agents and managers might be amazing at what they do. Our job isn't to have a resume 10 feet long. Our job is to be an amazing actor. So when they see talent, when anyone sees talent in this industry, they're thrilled. They grab a hold of it and they try as hard as they can not to let go.
Yes.
And that's why actors need to stand in their own confidence as them and as what they have to offer. Because when someone's watching you in a film, they're not watching your credit list. They're watching you in that moment. And a casting director knows that. They literally, a film needs to attach, between 1 and 4 A-list names, or not necessarily A-list, it depends on the budget. So they need to attach a certain number of saleable names that can sell foreign territories in every single movie. Once they attach those 1 to 3 names, everyone else, it doesn't matter how many credits they have, every other actor on that film is not adding value through their resume or through their fan base. They're adding value through their talent and their ability to play that role. So if you can't sell foreign, you're in the same category as 99.9. Even most of the TV actors who are in leads in TV series can't sell foreign in a film. So beyond those first 1 or 3 credits in a film, it's up for anyone, really. Other than that, it's just they're looking for your talent, your experience, and the fact that they can trust you on set.
Right.
So
and that's incredibly empowering because I know a lot of our viewers feel like, oh, I'm not a name. I don't have any pull.
It means nothing.
It's not. Yeah.
All it means to them is, so all it means to be a name is that they may have worked with you before, they respect you, they know your work, they know that you can be a professional on set, they know that you're good at your job. You can prove all of those things to a person by being amazing in an audition and developing a great relationship with them. So, yeah.
Totally.
That's it. We're all kind of in the same boat. Even I know a lot of series regs that'll say to me they can't get in on films. So, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. You're great.
Everyone is amazing.
Everyone's amazing. Just don't suck as an actor and people will hire you.
That is the key. I think that desperation comes in when we're not prepared.
Yeah.
When we're being inauthentic.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. So what we're saying here is nothing that you do to move your career forward is desperate as long as you come at it from the angle of being the best actor that you can be and being your authentic self.
Yeah. Look, everybody had to start somewhere. So when people see someone young and hungry with tenacity, they have so much respect for it. I can't even begin to explain to you how important it is for people to see your passion and to see you chasing your dreams. That's what we're all here for. It's Hollywood.
Totally. So if our viewers want to work with you more, how can they get in touch with you?
Through hollywoodsguide.com is the website. Yes. So Hollywood's Guide.
Here's the book.
You can buy the book.
That's the website. Yes, the book is amazing. You guys seriously check it out. And one of you who's watching is going to get your little hands on a copy of this book. And you can do that by commenting on the blog and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Do that and you will be entered to win a copy of the Hollywood Survival Guide for Actors written by our very own Kym Jackson. So if you love this content, be sure to share it with your friends, subscribe and comment, tell us something that you learned today that you're going to implement in your own career. And we will see you next week on Career Tips for Actors. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.